Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the star of Madam Web, Dakota Johnson, saying that Hollywood is a hot mess. It's a hot mess right now. Decisions are being made by people who don't watch movies or know anything about them, and studios just keep remaking the same things. Oh my God.
She's not
Shocker.
wrong. She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. So we're going to talk about this because, yeah, it's a really interesting time in Hollywood. We have some pretty big hits coming out. A lot of those hits, though, are just remakes. And then we have new stuff come out that kind of lands with a thud. So the studios, they don't seem like they know what they should be making. And, with everything costing so damn much, everything's made by committee. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
All right, go out to badorcs.com. Badorcs.com. Pick up some orc pins. They're rude orcs, not made by committee.
No, they weren't made by committee, no.
So check it out, badorcs.com. Yeah, so you just sent this over. This is from Variety. This is Dakota Johnson. And I wonder what was up, because when she promoted Madam Web, she did not seem like she was really in the moment. Let's put it that way. Like, she was saying some nonsensical stuff, and she just did not give a shit what she said.
And she said then, like kind of what she's saying now, which was it's been done by committee. People aren't creative anymore. And, she also said that what she basically signed up for, what it became, were two different things.
Yeah.
So I think she just checked out because she's like, this isn't what you told me, but whatevs. I'm already in it. So
she seemed very checked out. If you saw the interviews, it was like clearly she was just contractually obligated to talk about the movie, but she did not seem like she wanted to talk about the movie very much. So yeah, this is coming from Variety. Dakota Johnson continues to speak her mind on the failings of contemporary Hollywood while appearing on Hot Ones during her Materialists press tour. Now, Hot Ones is where they eat the buffalo wings. And
Materialist is her new romantic comedy, which of course has Pedro Pascal in it because everything does.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. I want to see a romantic comedy with Pedro Pascal and Pedro Pascal. He's both. He's Pedro Pascal and then Pedro Pascal and pumps too.
You would wear him too, probably.
Yeah, probably. She was asked by host Sean Evans why Hollywood is risk averse. She said, I think it's hard when creative decisions are made by committee, and it's hard when creative decisions are made by people who don't even really watch movies or know anything about them. Mm-hmm. That tends to be what's occurring a lot. Yeah.
That, or it's like the other thing is you got these people who got in there, and we talked about this before, and then they get their friends in there, and then they try to make movies based on what they want to see, which isn't what the general public wants to see.
Right.
And then people don't like it, and then of course it's not because maybe they screwed up. It's because you're review bombing and you're terrible people. Which, real quick, I tell the story about yesterday.
Sure.
Okay, so on one of the Disney boards, they're all mad about Snow White. Not, like, Snow White didn't do that well and everything else. And then somebody had to make it about the Acolyte. Of course they did. And I was like, the Acolyte failed because the general public didn't watch it. Right. You can blame it on, because everybody's so negative and they hate. It's like, no, they didn't even care enough to hate on it. It's like most people didn't even watch it. And then the ones that did, the viewership declined over the course of the show. That means more people dropped off. They didn't care about it. And this one idiot decides to go after me and keep going on about how well it was because of review bombing. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm not saying review bombing didn't happen. There's no way that they had reviews before the movie or the show came out.
Right.
Obviously, something was up there. That being said, not enough normies watch the damn reviews on these things to actually impact the show. And that's just the way it is. And I think what's going on is we're not making movies and films for the main audience, the majority. We're making movies and films and shows for what they think people want or what their friends that are, super far a certain way, they tell them that everybody wants. And now they're starting desperately to walk this shit back because it didn't work.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, because it's like, the only way they bet, I think what happened was we're getting more of the same because they bet on new things, but they were the wrong new things.
Yes.
So now they're afraid to take chances. They're like, oh my God, we greenlit this and that and all these other like woke movies, woke shows, whatever. All that stuff failed. So I guess we'll just go, remake this movie for the third time.
Yes, and then what's doing well in the theaters are, Inside Out 2. And so that's where we're going to get more of that shit.
Remakes. Yep.
Because they didn't, and, they aren't doing the right original properties that will resonate with the majority. They're going for what them and their friends think that they want to see. And that's great, except for the fact that you need to, if you're a studio, you need to cater to the majority. And it doesn't mean you can't do new things. You totally can, but you have to make sure you remember who your audience is.
Yeah, it's like they went too far one way and now the pendulum's swinging back hard the other, which is like, fine, we're just going to do the same old from now until the end of time because we know we can make money on that.
Well, here is somebody in Hollywood who's been in Hollywood for years because her parents and everything else. Been
Yes,
around
Don
the block
Johnson.
many times. Yeah, Melanie Griffith. Been around the block many times. That being said, she's even like, she doesn't care. She's just calling it out. Like, she's saying the quiet, the part out loud. Like, it's because we got too many cooks in the kitchen. They don't even care about the food. They're just shitting stuff out. And if they can't, if they don't want to take a chance on anything, they just remake. She's not wrong. She just has the balls to say it.
She said when something does well, studios want to keep that going, so they remake the same things. Humans don't want that. They want fresh. They want to feel new things, experience new things, see new things. So I don't know. I guess it's all just a bit of a mess right now, isn't it? Then she talked about Madam Web. She said she tried and failed to be a superhero. She said it wasn't
she owns it, you know?
Yeah, she look. You could tell.
Well, she says it wasn't my fault, so I guess
she said it wasn't her fault.
You know.
It wasn't her fault. She
okay,
tried
never mind. Take it back. She doesn't own it. But she's like, but she does say here, didn't she say here, like, yeah, she was saying about basically like before. I don't know if it's here or other places she talked about
LA
it.
Times. She talked to the LA Times.
Well, I know another time I don't know if it's this one because I can't read it. It's too small. But on my screen. But I know at the one point when she was talking about it before, the way it sounded to me, I think we did a video on it before, was that what she thought she signed up for and what it ended up becoming were two different things.
Yeah. Well, that could be too, because I mean, a lot that actually does happen. Sometimes that's why stars leave a project or something, because they sign up thinking, oh yeah, I get to be this character, or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, and my part's very small now, or it's not like the book I read, or it's what I'm saying. It's not as big of a role as I thought it was going to be. I hate what you did to the character. There's going to be backlash, so they'll drop out. But yeah, she said it wasn't my fault. There's this thing that happens now where a lot of creative decisions are made by committee, or by people who don't have a creative bone in their body. It's hard to make art that way or make something entertaining that way.
It's true, though.
She said, unfortunately, here it is. Unfortunately, with Madam Web, it started out as something and turned into something else. And I was just sort of along for the ride at that point, but that happens. Bigger budget movies fail all the time. That's true, but they don't have to. I mean,
it's more true recently.
Yeah.
Like, they're constantly failing these big budget movies. You're like, how the hell? It's like the studios have to be doing it on purpose at this point.
I think that, I mean, and we do have a lot of bean counters in charge, right? I mean, we have Bob Chapek and I would say Iger, too, in charge of Disney. We have Zaslav in charge of Warner Brothers. And like, you do need to have somebody there to rein in expense on these things. You can't be like, hey, let's just burn $300 million, right? But at the same time, if they're not creative people or they don't have any creative vision, then they're just going to be like, you know what? We can just remake, Inside Out, or we can just remake whatever these movies over and over and over again. That's what Iger's doing. He's just like, hey, we're going to make a bunch of Pixar sequels. We're going to make a bunch of live action remakes because money, money, money.
And I also think that the studios and stuff and the people at the studios are just like all in lockstep with the same kind of ideas, the same kind of way to do this. We're doing streaming stuff. We're all doing, and then it's like when one fails, instead of like saying, oh, don't go off the cliff, they all just walk off the cliff too. And it's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, there's always a wave, right? And it seems more apparent, I guess, in recent years, but there's always like, okay, this is this particular era of movie / TV shows / book, whatever. And they do go in waves. They have,
they do. But like recently, like the overspending on
the
stupidity, and then it doesn't do well. It seems to be a common occurrence.
What is going to happen, unfortunately, and again, kind of bring it back to this, but, this is where a tool like AI does come in handy because you can bring those costs down. You can take more chances. The studios are risk averse, but when you've got I can think of in the last 2 years, so many movies that have been, $50 million or under that have actually done really well. You have Godzilla -1, you have Five Nights at Freddy's.
Even Minecraft wasn't that expensive.
Minecraft, relatively speaking, was not that expensive. Lilo and Stitch was under $100 million because it was supposedly to be a Disney Plus show.
It could be, but I don't know. I mean, that one might be, I guess, but
Yeah, I think what they're going to do is they're going to do smaller movies, and that's the thing. So our audience is going to be receptive to that, though, because now they've been spoiled by these ridiculously expensive spectacle movies. But you can't justify spending $300 million on something if it's not going to even break even. And that's the thing;
Yeah.
these movies they're not even breaking even.
And yet, I don't understand why they spend this much money. Because unless you really legitimately have $1 billion movie, why would you spend that much? Because you're never going to get it back. What you get back is going to be so limited. Because at that point, if it's $300 million, you have to do like $600 million to break even.
Oh yeah.
So why bother?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, that was like I was listening to the CEO of Square Enix, and he was like, basically how they decide to greenlight a AAA title is, would we be better off just putting this money in the bank or in the stock market? Would the company make more money that way? And if the answer is yes, then we don't even bother greenlighting the project because it's going to be so costly. We might lose money, so that's how they think. And again,
I was just thinking though, for $300 million movie, you have to make $600 million to break even, right? So then you want to hit $1 billion. That's only $400 million profit. You could have done a movie for $50 million. If it was the right kind of movie, it would take $100 million to break even. And if you could hit like $800 million or whatever, you're still way far ahead.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. I think they're going to have to recalibrate. And I think there's got to be a balance between giving audiences something that they will pay for and also giving them something new. And that's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And again, I think what we're seeing now, the reason that they're retreading everything is that they took chances or they took existing IP and they tried to take chances with it. Did not go well. They listened to the wrong people, and now they're listening to the accountants.
Yeah, well, she's calling it out and saying the same thing that we have been saying this whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's obvious to anybody who goes to the movies. I mean, they're clueless and they're failing miserably.
All right, so we got to wrap it up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.